Hello and welcome to the OTR Love Team Time Trial Series. My name is Andy and I'm going to take you through the highlight show today. Here we have for race 8, there are 4 teams that we're going to show you that are in League 1. Previously we showed League 3. I don't think we have anybody racing in League 2 that we've recorded. Hopefully we'll see that in race 9. So as usual, the start looking for the first minute and they're off. So ASRT, we have 40 has not been able to start due to a technical, so you got 3, which is Cyril, Johan and Jojo. Australia Sharks, we have 5 riders. Who are they? Marco, Ben, Toby, Tristan and Mark. For pedalers, we have 6. That's interesting. That's nice to see. Christoph, Doug, Daniel, John, Matthias, and Jürgen. And for 3-arm mushroom, we have 5 riders: JP, Rajesh, Mikkel, Mitja, and DJ. So no one's dropped so far, apart from 40 that wasn't able to start due to a technical. So 5k splits, we have, looking at this, so interesting development on Australia Sharks. If you look at Sharks at the moment, you got Tristan on 100 meters behind with Marco. Now I think Marco dropped before the start of the climb, and Tristan had something like a 480 meter pull to get back into the group, and he's currently getting back there now. So I did a front view of the team so you could see Tristan at the back. So Tristan's coming through and he'll be with the team relatively soon, so you can see him there at the back still. But that 480 meters, while they're still pulling 5 watts per kilo up that climb. So absolutely incredible what Tristan's been doing. And Marco giving him some encouragement there as well, which is great to see. And Marco's still back, but Tristan's now come through and he's in 22 meters behind the group. So absolutely awesome to see. So well done, Tristan, that is absolutely fantastic. Mark just moving over to the side to allow Tristan to come through. Looking at mushroom, you got DJ and Raj up front. JP's following with Mikkel and Mitja closely behind, so they're now going to catch up. Looks like Raj has lost his kit. He's the only one in 3-arm mushrooms with a black RGT kit on, so I'm not sure what's going on there. AESRT again doing really well. They're a really strong team, but they'll have to finish as 3, and their race will be hampered by the fact that they've only got 3 riders and they can't drop anybody. Looking at pedalers, Jürgen has been dropped on the climb, so they're down to 5 now. So Matthias is now at the front with Christoph, Doug, John and Daniel. So that's interesting. So AESRT and Australia Sharks are 1 second gap. If you look at 3-arm mushrooms, it's 8 minutes and 2. Pedalers 7 minutes and 53 seconds. So that's really interesting to see on that. So the climb has made an interesting impact on say AESRT's tactics to try and get those 3 riders back. And Australia Sharks would have been hampered slightly while waiting for Tristan to get through into the group again. But they weren't hanging around, were they? They were still doing plus 5 watts per kilo on the flat and then up the climb. So 3 on mushroom, all 5 are together. And the same, so it looks as though what Jürgen's now dropped completely and finished the game. So they got 5 riders left. Australia Sharks working together as 4. Now looking at the 10k splits, so this is after the climb, before the next climb. Australia Sharks with Mark, Tristan, Ben and Toby. Toby's just off the back slightly, so he's going to get back in. 3 on mushroom with DJ up front, with Rajesh, Mikhail, JP, Mitcha. Matthias is leading Peddlers. Then you got Daniel, Doug and Christoph, followed by John. Who else? AESRT. So Jojo's up front with Johan and Cyril. So far all looking really good, to be honest. There's no gaps. No one's messing around. I think it's interesting Raj being in black. Not sure what that's about. Maybe we can get hold of Raj to find out what was up with not wearing the 3R kit, because typically 3R have been wearing their team kit on every single race, and they normally have the same bike, the same helmet, the same sunglasses, so it's just a bit odd having Raj just in black, but we'll try and find out. So everyone under the kite, so the halfway mark, sorry, and all reasonably well together. Just going up the climb at the moment, you've got 2.2%, and then it levels out to the 1.1% at the moment, and then they'll go on to a flat. Slight gaps with Australia Sharks, so hopefully Mark can get back through. JP on the front with Rajesh, Mikhail, Mitcha and DJ. Johan with AESRT, followed by Cyril and Jojo. And now looking at that split time, so Australia Sharks is 16 minutes 15. Now they were 1 second ahead of AESRT, so sorry, behind AESRT, so there's a slight gap now. Then you got 3 on mushroom at 15:47, and then Peddlers at 15:35. It'll be interesting to see what the final split times look like. And we'll see that later on once we get past this 15-kilometer split and the final run into the finish line. So all the pace lines look really good. Australia Sharks opting for a slight split between the first 2 and the seconds, so Tristan, Ben, and you've now got Toby coming up, and Mark still at the back. Rajesh is now leading the group for 3R mushroom, GJ, JP, Mitcha and Mikhail, and then you got Jojo for AESRT leading with Johan and Cyril, Doug's for Peddlers, and then Daniel, Christoph, John, Beams and Matthias. So it's going to be interesting to see who gets the top spot between these 4 in the highlight show. We know one of the teams is going to have to go down into League 2, and at the moment from looking at the group sits between, so Australia Sharks will move down into League 2, it's going to be interesting to see whether 3 on Mushroom or OTR Black do. So let's watch what 3 on Mushroom get on in this particular race, and see whether or not we think they will go down or stay up in League One. But Peddlers and ASRT are relatively comfortable. Peddlers just have to beat Mushroom in the highlight show, so we'll see how that goes. But everyone working together. Looking at the split times now, the Australia Sharks is 23:42, a bit more of a gap now to ASRT at 23:34, 3 on Mushroom at 22:45, which is only 3 seconds behind Peddlers at 22:42. Really interesting to see that, how that pans out for the finish line. DJ on front with Mikkel, Raj, Mitcha and JP. Now up Mushroom, Australia Sharks, you've got Toby, Mark, Tristan, Ben. No one's been dropped so far from any of the other teams. Cyril's in front for ASRT. Now looking at the finish sections of the last 2 minutes of the race, and this will cover through to the kite. You got for Australia Sharks, Tristan up front, with Ben and Toby. Now we have dropped Mark. He's now 185 metres behind. ASRT, we haven't dropped anybody, so we've still got Cyril, Johan and Jojo leading there. So 3 on Mushroom. Again, no one's been dropped, so DJ is up front, and they're just coming to the kite now, followed by Mikkel, Raj, JP and Mitcha. And for Peddlers, again, no one's been dropped so far, so Daniel Neugbauer, Christoph, John, Matthias and Doug Hart. And there's a slight gap now between John and Matthias with Doug. So 630 metres to go. No issues really, but we do look as though we've dropped Mitcha from 3 on Mushroom. He's now 66 metres behind, and they're just coming into that closing 500 metre gap, 500 metres to the finish line, so they'll be pushing a lot harder now. And you can start to see some of those red numbers coming up. No one else has been dropped that I can see. 220 metres to go. Johan just coming through now. He's going to take the lead of the team with Jojo and Cyril. Cyril and Jojo. Australia Sharks just coming through on the line now with Ben. You got 3 on Mushroom just gone through. So interestingly, when you look at the split times, at that finish, Peddlers and Mushroom were 1 second difference, with 30:53 and 30:54. ASRT was 32:10. Australia Sharks was only 3 seconds behind, so they pulled it back on that last finish split after the 15k. So they're 32:10 and 32:13. And we covered the remaining in the previous highlight show. So looking at that, it looks as though Mushroom did manage to stay ahead of OTR Black, so they stay in League 1. OTR Black and Australia Sharks move down to League 2, but it's going to be interesting to see them fighting out for who's going to take that one spot for the finals, so that'll be interesting to see. Ultraviolet and Blue move up into League 1. RGT Wombats and Pokemotion move down into League 3. I just don't think they've had the opportunity to race as much in this series. And then you've got North American X-Force and Australia Dingoes move up to League 2. So again, all to play for in the next 4 races. But Peddlers won that from the highlight show. at 3053.8, and so close, followed by 3R mushroom by 1 second. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe and provide as much comments on what we can do with the highlight show going forward, or what we'd like to see different. Thank you for watching again. Thank you. Bye.